Hello, I'm Darren Grimes, your Northern Light, bringing real news from the no-nonsense North. And today I want to talk to you about the very much nonsensical Labour Energy Secretary Ed Miliband. Or, as I prefer to call him, the man who could fry your chips, crash your holiday, double your rent and fund Chinese slavery. All in 1 week. Yep, he should have went out of political favour with the Ed Stone. Now, let's start with the big one. Slave labour. Yep, you heard us right. Red Ed and his merry band of morally bankrupt Labour MPs just blocked a ban on the government buying solar panels where there's credible evidence, credible, not hypothetical, that they've been made by modern slaves, specifically Uyghur Muslims in China. Now, much has been posited about a two-tier preferential protected status for Muslims here in Britain, but Labour care not a jot for the plight of those living lives under the slavery of dictator Xi. Because apparently, when it comes to hitting net zero, Labour is supremely relaxed, with human rights hitting zero instead. You'd think in a party that bangs on until the cows come home about ethics and equality, that someone might have said, hang on a minute, lads, maybe, solar panels made by people in forced labour camps isn't the progressive utopia that we were aiming for in our Change manifesto. But no, they've whipped their MPs to vote it down. Not one of them rebelled, not a peep, because it turns out that Labour will do absolutely anything to hit their beloved green targets. Greta, Queen Greta, God Greta. Even if it means buying torture-powered tech from a genocidal regime. Red Ed's got this dream of slapping Chinese-made solar panels on every school and hospital in the country. Call it Miliband's Maoist makeover. It's green on the outside, but it's blood red underneath. And my friends, while he's out there saving the world with his climate cosplay, what's happening here at home? Well, the lights are quite literally going out. Heathrow Airport, the UK's busiest travel hub, shut down after a fire at a single electricity substation went kaput. One box. That's all it took. One box up in flames and 1,300 flights were cancelled. Billions taken off the British economy. All because under Ed's net zero crusade, we've hooked up our infrastructure to the kind of flimsy, unreliable grid that would make a 90s dial-up modem blush. You remember the way we used to get into that sound? It was horrible, wasn't it? And it's not like they weren't warned about this. Heathrow bosses told MPs years ago that the airport's net zero ambitions would double their electricity demand and that the grid simply wouldn't be able to cope. But did the uniparty listen? Of course not. He was probably too busy measuring school roofs for solar panels made by slaves and then measuring farmland for windmills. This is the Energy Secretary, the man responsible for keeping Britain switched on, and he's more interested in turning the Chinese Communist Party on than protecting energy security in Blighty. And I'm not making it up. He literally flew to Beijing, he held hands with the CCP, covered in blood, and signed a clean energy partnership on the very day Chinese coal expansion hit record highs. So the Chinese are happier than a pig in muck, right? Because they know that they can burn all this coal, and mad old Britain, not burning coal, not getting oil and gas, going mad on solar panels and wind farms, that they can make all the money off of the backs of immiserated and cold British people. It's like shaking hands with a butcher while bragging about your vegan diet. And if all of that wasn't bad enough, brace yourself. His net zero policies are coming for your fish and chips. I tell you what, he can try and drag them out of my little hands, shivering in the winter, not able to put me bloody heating on. But seriously, the National Federation of Fish Fryers have warned that his electrification obsession would kill off the chippy. Why, you might ask? It's because almost every chippy in Britain is running on gas, and electrifying them would be, to quote them, not feasible or affordable, right? So you're frying the entire industry, for want of a better way of putting it. So the next time you fancy yourself cotton chips, you might find yourself shelling out 15 quid instead for a soggy half-cooked plate of guilt-free eco-nuggets. It's what Miliband calls progress. Soggy chips, not even bloody cooked, dark, empty airports, slave-made labour, solar panels, and bankrupt landlords, meaning fewer housing opportunities. At a time of rampant mass migration, the number of Brits I see on the streets, it makes me sick. And to top it off, he's too gutless to actually give the go-ahead and green-light those new North Sea oil and gas fields. Fields that could power Britain for decades to come and stop her relying on dodgy regimes for energy or dodgy green schemes for no energy. Even the Scottish Labour lot are now calling for a rethink on this strategy. Scottish Labour leader Anna Sarwar, of all people, said it makes more sense to extract our own oil and gas than import it from petrol states. But Ed, he doesn't give a damn. He's got a climate cult to lead and a country to cripple. Under Miliband's watch, Britain, we're deindustrialising at a terrifying rate. They keep telling where there'll be hundreds of thousands of green jobs. If that happens, I tell you what, I'll run down Newcastle's Northumberland Street, totally starkers. Manufacturing output is down. Chemical plants are shutting. We've got the most expensive industrial energy in the world. And now landlords, especially those housing students, are facing ruin thanks to these fantasy EPC targets, meaning you have to go green and insulate them. That could cost up to 28,000 quid per home to meet. It means landlords will simply sell up and leave the market, leaving people with fewer opportunities to access housing. He's not building a greener Britain, he's building a poorer, darker, colder Britain, and a more dependent one as well. He's outsourcing our energy security to despotic regimes, he's hammering British businesses, and he's sacrificing common sense at the altar of climate dogma. This isn't green, this isn't ethical, and it sure as hell isn't patriotic. Ed Miliband isn't just Labour's energy secretary, he's Britain's energy saboteur. At a time when your council tax is going up, your energy bills is going up, your shopping's going up, your bills for your broadband and mobile costs, they're all going up, your road tax, all of these things up. That's all that Labour have done. 9 months is it they've had. They've been in since July of last year. Have your bills got better? Rachel Reeves says inflation's come down. I bet you can't bloody feel that in your pocket. They're a bunch of charlatans. That's what they are. But I'm Darren Grimes, and don't forget to subscribe at darrengrimes.com. Real news from the no-nonsense north every single day.